Find product links below and hundreds more videos on my channel.
Okay, hi guys. So it's really late at night, but I've had so many requests for this review. I just had to do it, and this is the only time I found to actually get some reviews done, because I've just had so much work recently. So this is the FC-270 from Fancier. The improvements of this over the 717 are really good. Some of you may have seen my review of the 370. Not usable with DSLRs, not very well, whereas this is very, very good, very, very usable. What this has is a variable counterbalance. So if right now you can see that's the spring pushing this thing back. It'll do the same thing from here. And then if I had that off, if I had no counterbalance, it would only be the weight of the handle. So from here, it would just continue going down, wouldn't come back up. So that's really, really good. I'm not yet sure if it's fully variable. What I know is that you can lock it in any position. So you can, if you lock it there, it will try and go back to there, right? If you and if you lock it, obviously, so you have to bring it to straight with the camera on here, then lock it, then it'll bring the camera back to being straight, horizontal. So it's kind of a weird system. I'm not sure exactly whether, because you can kind of, if you loosen it up a little bit, you get less counterbalance, but I'm not sure if that's just the internal grip of it slipping or whatever, but it works really well, so I don't really care. The legs are the same as the 717, except built a little bit better. They're a little bit stiffer to open and close, which is good. This center mid-level spreader is much tougher. It feels much tougher, even though it looks like it looks exactly the same, but it's a lot tougher to open, and it actually helps get this tripod really steady. I've had this for a few weeks now, and I've basically been raving about it since the performance of the legs is actually a little better than the 717, which I think a lot of you may have seen my review of that, which is a good tripod, but the head is a massive step up from that. So pretty easy to open. It's actually a bit easier to open if you hold it like this, and then it's got a 75mm bowl, unlike many of, or maybe all, I'm not sure, but my 717 was shipped with a 65mm bowl. You can use other heads with this. You can use this on other legs. I wouldn't recommend buying this head alone, just because these legs are so good, and the extra price of the legs is really worth it. It has no variability to the friction of the head, so you can lock it down, but I wouldn't use the lock as, it wouldn't work very well if you tried to use that as a drag control. You should probably like loosen up the fluid a little bit, but once you do, you can do a whip pan. It is definitely enough drag for small cameras, DSLRs. I don't think I actually explained this. The variable counterbalance actually allows you to do perfect moves and then let go of the handle and allow the camera to actually stay exactly where it is. It also means that the bite point, I'm not sure if that's the correct term. I tried actually looking it up and I didn't really find anything, but a cameraman friend of mine describes it as the biting point, which is the point where when you're going from not moving to starting a move, the biting point is where it goes, and actually as you try and start it, it like jumps a little bit, which is true for most low-end tripods. So if the drag control is loose, you're going to be putting vibrations in through your hand, and it's a little bit too difficult to control properly at that sort of length, at 200-300mm. With this, you don't have that problem because it's already got a lot of drag here, and there's no drag control, so you can't loosen up the drag. It's perfect for like 300mm, absolutely perfect. You can do perfect start-stop moves, so you can basically go, and you can see I've already got a demonstration of this on my channel, showing with the larger version of this head, and this performs just as well. In fact, better, because with that one you couldn't let go of the handle because the counterbalance is way too strong. So with this one you can actually let go of the handle at any point, and there's basically no biting point. So there's no, when you want to start a move, even at 300 meters, I'm talking about really zoomed in, when you want to try and start the move, it's absolutely perfect. There's no, it's not fighting you before it starts moving and then do that annoying jump. So starting and stopping a move is perfect, which means when you're doing things, live stuff, when you're working with actors doing an entire scene and you need to follow an actor a little bit around, you don't have areas in your footage which are unusable like you would with many other tripods. This isn't the handle, this is the handle that comes with the 717, which is extendable, and I really like that, so I took this off my 717 and put it on here. You can buy the extending handle. I think I've seen them for about £17 on eBay. So it's got a little bubble here, which is easier to read than on the 717. So on the 717 it's kind of hidden away, and sorry I'm not showing them side by side. My third tripod is on borrow to a friend, so I'm filming with a 717. The case that comes with it is a massive step up from the 717. The one from the 717, it's only just padded, whereas this thing is really well padded. And in fact, the bigger version of this tripod, the 730, has a really crap case. So apart from the fact that the zip on this case, I feel may break at some point, just it feels a little bit, possibly, even though it's sort of large, it feels potentially weak. But I love the case, really well padded, really nice to work, just nice to carry, nice to, putting this on your back compared to the 717 one is much nicer because you don't have all these like things digging into your back. There's one thing I still need to cover, which is the difference between this and the non-A version. The difference is the legs, right? So the one that has the A, all the different tripods that have the A after them are with these legs, the legs that basically the 717 legs, except a little bit better, a little bit tougher, and they are actually sturdier than the 717 legs. The non-A version, which is a little bit cheaper, it's terrible. Avoid, do not buy. If you've bought it, send it back or sell it on eBay or something. It's terrible. It's disgusting. It's so bad. I mean, like, even compared to an £80 tripod like the Velbon, which has decent legs. I mean, the head is only for small camcorders, but at least they've built it well enough. The legs are sturdy. The legs on that thing are terrible. There's like plastic joints. I mean, everything here is metal. All the knobs and everything. In fact, everything apart from the end caps of the feet, everything's metal. On that one, everything was plastic, except for the bowl and the actual sticks, and a few little pieces. And by the way, I heard someone told me that they were looking at the other one because it's got extendable mid-level spreader. So they thought, hey, that's a great feature. And that's sort of what I thought when I bought it. I thought, hey, it looks beefier. It's not. It's smaller than this. Even though somehow it looks bigger, it's not. In actual use, it's less sturdy. But what I was going to say is the mid-level spreader on this is about as wide. So the only advantage that the other one has got is nothing. With this one, if you want it a bit smaller, you can do this. And it's because this is quite stiff, this could work. Whereas with the other one, the maximum it'll open to is about this. So there isn't a big improvement on that. It's got spiked feet, which are disgusting. The spikes I think are fine. The feet that go onto the spikes are loose, so you can't use it on anything but grass. It's sort of the entire thing wobbles because the feet move on where they're supposed to sit. So the entire tripod is sort of riding on these wobbly feet. Anyways, avoid. Just if you're buying this, it must say A on the end of it. Now on the Amazon store, on the NetGadgets Amazon store, they have this listed as this, and there's photos of this, of the A version. When you look in the specs are of the non-A version of the one, it says spiked feet and stuff like that, ignore that. They will send you this. If they don't, send it back. But this is what you get, at least in my experience. But they're good guys. They seem pretty honest, and I've actually bought 2 tripods from them. 3 now, actually, except the 370 was returned. But I bought my 717 from them as well. So good company to buy from. Apart from that, I don't know, is there anything else? I don't know. If there's any questions, ask me below. Maybe I'll do an update video or something. But I really don't think that's needed, because knowing the quality of Fancier from having used the 717 for about 2 years, it's great. You know, it's a really, really well-made product. Doesn't break after a while. So far, nothing's broken on my 717. If you're thinking of buying a tripod and you just watch this ridiculously long review, you buy this now before it's out of stock. I guess that's pretty much all I have to say. So yeah, come back to my channel soon. I'm gonna have a ton more cool stuff. I've got some new filters coming in, which will be amazing. Some new lights, which will be cool. So yay, tons more cool stuff coming up. So subscribe and check out my other stuff on the channel, unless you're already subscribed, in which case unsubscribe and then subscribe again. No, I'm kidding. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.